Hey everybody, how's it going today? I'm going to walk you through the setup of the Bitaxe Sentry. This is just a simple utility to, at a glance, check out the status of your Bitaxe machines. This should work on most of the Bitaxe hardware, including the Gamma and Supra. Although I only have a Gamma here that I'm testing with today, but as you can see here, I got one of them in here. It's reporting its hash rate, its voltage, temperature, best difficulty, and there's also a history tab, so you can view the hash rate over time, temperature over time, voltage over time. All of this information is stored in a database, so it's actually pulling the Bitaxe devices every 15 minutes, but it is retaining the information so it doesn't have to always ask the Bitaxe device about its current status. Um, that being said, I have the repo kind of right here, and then I have a terminal with the server that I'm going to be using to basically install this on. I'm using Pop! OS. It's basically just Ubuntu 22.04, but since this application is Dockerized, it should run on nearly every system. So um, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. The first step is we're going to clone the repository. So I'm going to copy the link here. I'm going to do a git clone here, paste that in, and we'll have this get cloned. That is awesome. We will go into that folder. And then as you can see here, we have a .env.example file. So our first step is just copying the example and making it into our actual environment file. So we'll do that. Then you'll notice we have both of them in here, so that's great. Then we'll nano that environment file, and you can see some of the variables that you can set here, like the pull interval minutes, the retention days, like how long you want to keep data before it gets deleted, the temperature thresholds that you want to set for your miners, the minimal voltage. Obviously, I think generally you never want to see them go below 5 volts, so that's kind of the default here. Your Bitaxe endpoints, now you can't have multiple in here, it would just be comma separated. So you just come in here, add a comma, and then you would do HTTP, and then your other IP address, and then you'd be pretty much good. But I only have one for now, so we're going to stick with this. All these other defaults are pretty good to me. I mean, maybe you'd want to bring your temp max down, something like that. But I'm going to go with these default values besides the Discord webhook URL. Now I'll go ahead and show you how you can do this. It's pretty easy with Discord. I'm usually always on Discord and I like to get updates there, so that's why I chose this route. You'll see I have a new server here. So all you have to do is really click the settings button here. There's going to be an option for integrations, and then you can just basically, well, I'm going to delete this webhook. I'm going to create a new webhook. That's probably what you would see. You can name it whatever you want, add whatever logo. I'm just going to call this Bitaxe Sentry. I'm going to save this, copy the webhook URL, and then that's pretty much what we need. Now, for security's sake, I am going to bring this terminal away for just a second while I add the webhook in here, and I'm going to save and exit this this file here. Okay, awesome. So that's all done. So now there's really only one more step to get this all up and running. A couple things I'll just show you are just quick Docker commands that you can verify. Firstly, you're going to want to make sure you have Docker installed. Pretty easy to do this. If you run Docker PS, you get something like this. You're pretty much good to go. And then at this point, we'll do a Docker compose up, and we'll just see kind of how that works out. And I think we already got an update that our Discord notifications are working correctly. So that's great. That's great. That always happens on startup. It does that little check, sends it just to make sure that you can interact with Discord just fine there. And you can see we have it running in here. And then if we go to the IP address of the server, which I have right here, port 7070, and then load this up, you can see we have our web dashboard just already up and running. And you can view a history. We have 1 point so far, so that happened just when we started up the system. It'll pull every 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, you'll come back here and you'll start accumulating more data. I already have one up that's been running for a little bit. You can kind of see what that looks like over here. And yeah, so right now this is running in the shell, which is not ideal if you wanted this background service. So with Docker, there's a really easy way to do that. I'm just going to Control C this so we gracefully stop what we currently have running. And then we'll basically do it again with a flag on it that it will run it in the background. And it's really simple to do. Just add -d. Notice we're started, we're good. If you want to see if it's actually running, we can do a Docker PS pretty easily there. And you can see, yep, there we both got the web and the backend monitoring software going. And so, yeah, that is pretty much the extent of it. There's one more thing that I'll point out is that we have this data folder created. So if there's any time that you manually just want to throw away the data you've already collected, you can just remove the database in there. We'll see. Yeah, there's the DB right there. If you remove that file, it resets everything back, and then you're good to start fresh. But that being said, this thing's running in the background, and so you won't really have to touch it. Anything that you have to do, it's pretty easy to bring down as well, and I'll kind of just show you that. Say you want to add a different miner. You just go into the folder right where the project is, and all you have to do is Docker compose down. Pretty simple there. It's just going to stop the containers that are already running. And then you can change the environment file if you wanted to add more miners and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. So I hope you guys enjoy this utility. I had a lot of fun making it. If you have any questions or concerns running into any problems, feel free to just let me know down below and I will do my best to get to you. All right. Thank you very much, guys.